Hey, I'm PH and welcome to Good Bible Knowledge with PhD. In this set of videos, I want to study the words and works of Jesus to give a clear understanding and a deeper appreciation of the love of God expressed through this most important figure in human history. And I hope these videos will help you in your own spiritual journey in Jesus. Let's get started. As Jesus returned to the region of Capernaum, a large crowd gathered around him. At that moment, Jairus, a ruler of the synagogue, came and fell at Jesus' feet, saying, "My daughter is dying. Please come and heal her." As the procession hurried towards Jairus' house, Luke introduces us to a woman who suffered for 12 years from constant bleeding, which according to Jewish law rendered her ceremonially unclean, cutting her off from all community. She was a woman of considerable wealth who had exhausted all her worldly resources, seeking help from multiple physicians. She weaved her way through the crowd, seeking to simply touch the edge of Jesus' cloak. When she touched his cloak, her sickness was immediately healed, and she sought to slip back into the crowd. However, Jesus stopped and said, "Who touched me?" As the woman came trembling before Jesus, he said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Just then, one of Jairus' servants arrived and said, "Do not trouble Jesus anymore, for your daughter is dead." Jesus, however, continued with Jairus, finding the room filled with mourning and weeping. Jesus spoke to the family, saying, "Do not weep, for she is not dead, but sleeping." Some among the mourners laughed at these words. Dismissing the crowd, Jesus knelt by the girl's bed, took her by the hand, and said, "Child, arise." And to her parents' astonishment, the child got up at once. These two intertwined miracles taught the disciples an important lesson regarding faith. Jairus, a man of great status, and the woman of great wealth, both face a desperate situation. Unlike Jairus, who approached Jesus directly, the woman simply hoped to touch the edge of his garment. For 12 years, she had exhausted everything she owned, seeking a worldly solution to her suffering, and in a desperate act of faith, simply reached out towards Jesus in anonymity. Jesus called out this woman, not to embarrass her, but to encourage her and to teach the disciples that her timid act was not one of cowardice, but of faith. And even the simplest acts of faith can bring God's power to bear on our suffering. Jairus was a powerful man who was powerless to heal his daughter. And even when he was told to give up all hope, he continued with Jesus to his home. Everything about the home shouted the inevitable conclusion of the world: give up your hope. And yet, rising above the sounds of mourning and weeping, Jesus speaks a word, and Jairus' daughter is brought from death to life. In these two miracles, Jesus teaches the disciples and us that even the smallest act of faith can bring about great results, because the power to heal comes not from the strength of our faith, but from the power of God. Jesus also teaches us to persevere in our faith, even when the world around us has given up all hope, for God has the power to raise the dead to life. Thanks for listening to another episode of Good Bible Knowledge. We'll see you next time.